I think we can start, where, because I'm a guy who's quite ignorant when it comes to speakers. Okay? Right. I even prepared a cheat sheet with him here to bring up some things. Normally, we don't prepare anything, okay, folks? It may seem very spontaneous, but I wanted you to explain, man, what's inside this speaker, inside a standard speaker?
Right. Well, generally speaking, the speaker is composed of a magnetic motor, right? Which is the magnet.
Is it this part here?
Yes, it's the magnetic assembly, right?
It's the magnetic assembly, not just a magnet?
Yes, it's a magnet, and it has...
This is just a magnet, this?
Yes, this is the magnet, the ferrite.
This dark grey part. So, all of this here is super solid. A big magnet of this size.
Yes. It's a pressed material, right? Very dense. It's made from powder and heated until it reaches this texture, which is super dense, right?
Just one magnet like this must weigh about 2 kilos, doesn't it? A little over a kilo?
No, a little less. It's because iron is pure, right?
Ah, okay.
The other parts, right? Which are the upper flange, right? Which is this one here. And the lower flange. And there's the solid rod in the middle, right? And iron rod as well.
A rod? What is a rod?
Yes, it would be a solid pipe. Solid.
Okay, a solid pipe. So let's go, this part here.
It's just that we have the names we use, rod, right, flange, and so on.
What is this here?
This is the flange.
This is the flange.
This is the lower flange, right? And you have the upper flange, which is where there's the hole. The gap, we call it, where the coil works.
Okay, so inside here, there's a coil as well.
That's right.
What is the size of the coil?
It can vary, right? This one here is the standard for a guitar speaker, which is 45 millimeter, right? And so we're talking about the structural part here, the iron part, right? And so on, which is the metal part. Then there's the chassis.
Chassis is it here?
Yes, is the part we call the chassis or the frame, right? And then you have the part that is the diaphragm, which is the part that moves in the speaker.
Which is this part?
Yes, that's the cone. The dust cap, right? Central.
Okay, this is the cone.
This is the cone, dust cap. Then you have the centering, right? The spider, as we call it. Right? Which is this part here, made of fabric.
Oh, it's in here.
Yes. Which is, it works somewhat like a shock absorber. And it is also responsible for the bass chamber there, right?
How do you call this little shape? Like it's a spiral, right?
Yeah, like a spiral.
Remember in the past, there was a remedy you would burn to kill mosquitoes?
Yes.
You don't remember the name of that thing?
Yeah, it was from Bygone, right?
Bygone, yes.
But I know which one it is.
Alert, right? It was a spiral, right?
Yeah, wow. It's because it needs to have the waves, right? To make the movement of bringing back the diaphragm when it is expelled. I see. To make this back and forth movement. And then you have the coil, which is glued to the cone and the centering.
You can't see it? No.
No. It's an internal piece.
All right.
You can't see it.
Okay. So basically, a speaker is like this.
That's it.
Whether it's for guitar or bass.
Or for bass.
Or even a regular sound system.
Exactly. Even the one in a cell phone is like this too, just in miniature. And it might not use one of the components, which is the centering. It's a small membrane. Directly on the coil on an extremely small magnet.
And why a magnet?
It's powered by the amplifier's current, and then it forms an opposing field. When you excite the speaker with the amplifier's signal, it makes the opposite movement, which then generates the sound wave.
That's it. I understand. Okay, do you want to say anything else about this part? Here, what is a speaker? That's it, right?
Yeah, basically this model of speaker, the type of moving coil speaker, which is the diaphragm movement, it basically is the same, in the same construction form, like in the same way of, how can I tell you? Of course, they are not the same materials, but like since the 1920s, 1927, I think it's already talking about moving coil. And since then, it's made in the same way. What will change are the uses and the materials, right? Like the type of material anyway, the type of use has also changed a lot anyway, right?
So the type, in terms of quality, okay, man, of the speaker, I know that's also a complicated question. When we say, man, what makes one speaker have more quality than another? There's the objective aspect of quality, right, man? Which are components, basically, isn't it? Then there will be a discussion about what is better or worse, which is a bit more subjective, right?
Yes, totally.
So let's first go to the quality part, right? What makes one speaker have more quality than another?
So, what ensures the quality of a speaker? I'll tell you, like, in the case of speakers made of fiber or hemp or cellulose and such, which are the ones I produce, right? Okay? Is the quality of the cone, the quality of the centering, which is a fabric that is kind of, let's say it is hot pressed and such, with a resin that makes it a little harder and such, so it maintains this shape. And the material of the coil, which involves the type of copper, the copper alloy, and involves the fiber on which it is wound.
In theory, you could potentially have, for example, in the same size of speaker, a discrepancy in terms of price and quality.
In terms of price? There's no end to that, right? No, there's no end in the sense that it can be very cheap.
From what's available in the market, for example, a cheap thing is like that guy who's making it, who doesn't even have a brand to make money to sell, you know?
For example, mainly talking about the cone, which I think for the guitar thing might be the most important component. The national cone, it is made basically with craft, which is paper, right? There and such. It doesn't have much cellulose in the pulp. The pulp is a bit different. From here, what are you talking about? That's it.
They are...
Of what exactly?
Cone.
Cone, okay. And they are... The national ones, they are produced in a, let's say, generic way. You don't manufacture a cone in Brazil today. No factory does that. Thinking about the guitar sound in terms of fiber and everything else.
Are you referring to that? To those who sell speakers, is that it?
No, I'm referring to the cone, which is used in the assembly of the speakers.
So are there brands that manufacture cones?
Yes, there are. I, in the beginning, used to make with national cone until I reached the point where I realized what? I would only be able to achieve a certain level of quality from the moment I used a better quality cone.
Having watched this clip from Starling Cast, you can watch the full episode here in the video description. And take advantage if you're a guitarist to join the largest virtual school in Brazil, exclusive for guitarists, by clicking on the QR code or in the video description. I'll be waiting for you there.